Hey y'all, it's me, Edgar Lomeli. And today I just decided I may as well get this out of the way because I don't even have time to make this, but I'm making it. So I guess we'll call this a channel update, yeah. So I'm currently working on a video, my first video essay if you will, and it's something I became really passionate about out of nowhere. Oops, sorry about that. And there's really no demographic for it, in all honesty. I can't think of anyone who'd want to watch this, but it's actually a really interesting deep dive analyzing a game and why it works. But that's where I'll leave it at for now. And so that's the only video I have coming up, and that's going to be like a big project that I'm going to try to finish before December. Because for most of December, I'm actually going to be away in India for a study abroad trip. And because of that, I will not be posting videos for the rest of the year, probably. Unless I somehow find time in that last stretch of December. But not likely. So this is my, I guess, second to last video of the year, because I'm way too busy with finals for the next 2 weeks. And then after that, I'm going to be too busy preparing to go to India. And then after that, I'm going to be too busy bowling in India. So, because of that, I thought, yeah, I may as well just put out a video now, letting y'all know what's going on. And just let you know that there's one more big video coming up, and that's my... I'm not sorry. I don't even remember what I said. The only upcoming video is a video essay of a game that out of nowhere became very near and dear to my heart. And yeah, I guess I may as well talk about my life, because I actually enjoy this gameplay I got going on here and would like to extend it. So this is footage of my very first match playing in the new Pacific update for Battlefield 5, and it is... So, the interesting thing is, this is where we gotta start. When you load up the game, what do you call it? On PlayStation, the thumbnail, I suppose, would be the term for it. When you go to select the game in your XMB. Do they still call it that for PS4? Basically, the PS4 main menu. When you go to select the game, they changed the thumbnail to like an American soldier in the Pacific, but like it's a majority of the coloring is like orange, like super bright to the point that may as well be yellow instead, and then very slight blue, and it's very contrasting to the very majority blue with slight bit of orange cover of the original main Battlefield 5. And it had a woman on the front, so now they're like, aw shit, we really fucked up with our advertising. I guess these misogynists really hated the fact that there's a woman on our cover. We have to completely change our marketing for this game and put fucking World War II Pacific front. That's our main push now. We gotta forget about trying to subvert expectations of what players should expect in a World War II game. Nah, we gotta straight stick to what they expect. That's it. That's what's gonna sell. We gotta do it. So they changed the thumbnail, and then when you open up the game, same thing. It's a thumbnail but full screen before saying press start or whatever. And I can't blame them, because Battlefield 5 was a disaster from the moment it was announced. Nothing felt quite right. This felt like there's nothing wrong with taking an open interpretation to war in general, I guess. Yeah, it's a real war that happened, and I understand some might say that it's disrespectful or shitting on the legacy of those who served and lost their lives in this actual war that happened. But with art, I believe you can do whatever you want, just as long as it's respectful. And for the most part, I didn't care that there was a woman with a fake arm and a dude with a katana in the European front, or wherever that reveal trailer was supposed to take place in. Like, I didn't mind it, but the thing is, it was just such a drastic departure from what Battlefield 5, or just the Battlefield series in general, is known for being, which is like a realistic war shooter. Not simulation, but it's much more realistic than, say, Call of Duty or things like that. So there's a precedent to the series and what people should expect. And I understand that they completely shattered those expectations in what I guess people saw as a bad way with the Battlefield 5 announcement. So then after that, they're like, oh, fuck that. We're taking out katanas. We're taking out fake arms or whatever. But we're still leaving women. You cannot take that away from us. And the misogynists were like, get women out. And the argument that they use to try to mask their misogyny is, oh, not that many women served in World War II. It's not as common. Like, who gives a shit, dog? It's just a game. Shut up. See, when it got weird, I think it's also in this game, was in Call of Duty World War II, where you could play as a black female Nazi. That's the only time where it was really weird. Like, that probably wouldn't happen, but I'm just gonna suspend my disbelief. And it worked out just fine. I didn't even buy the game because it was shit. I checked it out once, beat the campaign, shrugged, play multiplayer, got mad, returned it. But yeah. No, with this game, it's the same. Like, it doesn't matter that there's women, but I just think it's really interesting how, with the cover change, they try to remove every trace of their previous marketing. Now we're trying to cater the hardcore dude bros the way that the Call of Duty World War II did. They kept saying, boots at the ground, boots at the ground, boots at the ground, boots at the ground, and every trailer would have the M1 Garand ping sound. And that's a great way to advertise it. It's a Call of Duty as you remember. It's classic. It's World War II just like you remember from the old days. Though the ultimate end result didn't come out like that, it still was, in a way, giving people what it promises nonetheless. And so it seems like Battlefield tried catching up with it. And really, long story short, I don't know why I went on that tangent. Basically, this is a very good step in the right direction, I'd say. It's still essentially the same game, and with that comes its problems. I don't even know how to explain, but it just doesn't feel quite right. Like, everything feels more loose and smooth, which is good. I like the momentum in this game and just the feel of movement, but I don't know, maybe it might be the maps, because, for example, Battlefield 1942, 1943. It was very island oriented. You could come in, or one team would come in from boat on one side of the island, then the other team would start from another side of the island, and then there'd be spawn points all around the island. But here it just feels like the only spawn points are one team, the Japanese team, is on the top of the hill, and the Americans are on the bottom of the hill. So it's more, I guess, realistic to war, but at the same time it just is really limiting on what you can do movement wise and whatnot. So there's not too much room for strategy, just straight up run forward and shoot, instead of like in the older games with a island map design where you could come from any direction. So I think that's really what it comes down to. It just loses that feeling of option and choices. And this is somewhat more of a realistic approach to war, so I can see the enjoyment in it. And I personally do somewhat enjoy this. I mean, after all, like I said, this is only my first match, so I need to get more experience in. But there's some really cool moments that happen naturally. You know, those like only in Battlefield moments. I think they really shine in this. I don't know how many maps they released for this update. I only seen 2 so far. So for these maps that came on this update, let's just say, they're very like more prone to those type of epic moments, and I don't mean to use epic unironically. I'm sorry, I just couldn't think of another word. But yeah, I really like it that because of, like I said, the front head-on assault approach to it, it's just like creates so much chaos that it's amazing, and the enemy is just bombarding one fucking position non-stop, and you're like, dear God, when will it end? You're just straight chilling in the corner crying. But no, seriously, yeah, this is great. I'm going on such a long tangent, and yeah, sorry about that. I'm just gonna shut up now. Basically, if you own Battlefield 5, this update is great. It's a good reason to re-download it like I did, because I've had that bitch deleted for a long time. I didn't even have it for when they updated it to add their remake of Operation Metro. You know what? I actually, now that I remember, I just remembered as I'm saying, I should probably try to check that out. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I guess this is now half channel update, half Battlefield 5 Pacific update impressions. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. Like I said, this is almost it for what you're gonna see on the channel, so I guess after my next video I'll see you guys next year. Thanks a lot, and stay subscribed, and we'll see what we can cook up next year. Alright, in case I forget to say in the next video, happy holidays, y'all. Okay, bye!